My name is Melissa Esquivel, head chick in charge of Sawbuck Seminars. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty of formulas. So formulas is a functionality within Excel that allows you to calculate. You can use constants or you can use cell references. Most often, we're going to be using cell references. Now, cell references can be in the same worksheet. They can be in a different worksheet in the same workbook. They can even be across workbooks. So you can use one workbook if you have it open, and you can type an equal sign and point to a cell in another workbook, and now you've created a formula across workbooks. So formulas are really powerful in that way. They use very specific formats and mathematical operators. So there's a way that you type formulas in so that Excel recognizes what you want to do. There are even special operators you can use to create a formula for text, and that's that ampersand right there. We'll see how that looks in a minute. So all formulas begin with an equal sign. When you type an equal sign in a cell, you are telling Excel that you want to create a formula. The operators and the order that they are calculated in are very specific. We'll see that in a moment. You can nest formulas within formulas. So if you take a look down here, we have a big if statement, and inside that if statement is another if statement. Okay, that's what we mean by nesting. You might also need to nest formulas to deal with something called an order of operations problem, and we'll see that in a moment. And very important to know how cell references behave when you copy them. All right, so let's take a look at our formula operators. It all starts with an equal sign. You can use your plus to create an addition formula, like A1 plus B1. You can use your dash or minus to do subtraction. Your multiplication symbol is an asterisk, so A1 times B1 would give us 20 in this case. And that slash, that's the one that's on your question mark key, will give you the division functionality. You can even do exponents, or something raised to the something power, in this case 10 raised to the second power, which is 10 times 10, or 100. So these are the first 5 operators. Other symbols to know and other operators to know: parentheses. Parentheses will group like things. Take this grouping of functions like A1 plus B1. So you can do that. In this case, we want to do A1 plus B1 times C1. If we had done that another way, we would have gotten a different number. You'll see what I mean in a moment. You can use percentages. Percentage is actually a math operator. You can see it multiplies 12 times 0.01. And you can use that ampersand to create text strings. So you might think that this is just typed in, but this is actually a formula that uses cells and constants and ampersands to string all those things together. And that's how we get that sentence. So these are your operators that you can use. Now, I've hinted around about the order of operations. Let's see what I mean here. Excel calculates things in this order, and you may have even learned this little thing in school. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, which stands for parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. In this order is how Excel calculates. So, thinking about that, how would you solve this problem? 5 plus 6 times 10, just the way it's written, would result in either A, 110, or B, 65. Now, which one do you think it is? All right, let's try it out. All right, so we'll type in 5 plus 6 times 10. And when we press enter, we're going to see that it's 65. Now, why is it 65? Because Excel did the multiplication first and then did the addition, because that's how it shows up in the order of operation. Had you really wanted to come up with 110, you could have put 5 plus 6 in parentheses, which would have caused it to get calculated first, parentheses first, and then multiplication afterwards.